Let me tell you how I found out how my colleagues got their bonuses 3 times my annual salary and they cried over it. It wasn't enough, mind you. Hi, I'm Delia Fox and I help professionals succeed through their reputation. Story time. So, a long time ago, I was working in a bank. I was really happy with my role. I was very good at my job. I did very well, and I received the bonus, which was a percent bonus, and I was really happy with it. I was like, yeah, I deserved it. I did a good job, and that was it. I had a conversation with one of my colleagues and friends who worked in a different department. And she said that her colleagues were crying because of their bonuses, that they were too small this year. And those bonuses, I mean, the ones that they were complaining about, they were 3 times my salary for a year. So, not a monthly salary, yearly salary. And I panicked a bit. I was like, what? You're getting so much money? And I'm like 1% and I was the best in my team. Are you kidding me? So that was a wake up call for me. It was a wake up call in terms of how these things are done in business. So, of course, I went to my manager and I complained. I said, others got more bonus than I did. Couldn't say names and things like that, but I said that I know people who get much more than I got, and I am your top performer. What are we doing here? So I complained, comparing myself, right? I didn't get much. I got a lot of nice words, and if you're doing good next year, you might get something in case you relate to that. So I complained more and I threatened, I bluffed really, that I'm going to leave. I'm not happy here, I'm not paid enough, I am your top performer, and what you're telling me is that maybe next year you're going to give me more when I have great results, the company grew, everything that I could say. And I said, I'm leaving. I'm not staying, I'm leaving. So she gave me a 20% salary increase based on that, on the threat that I'm going to leave. This is common. There are a lot of companies who do that. I'm not going to discuss if this is a good approach or not. I did get my 20% salary increase and I got my mind and my eyes open. I was like, okay, I'm not going to accept 1% next year. I didn't know exactly how much I wanted. This was before we had Glassdoor and all these internet sites where you can kind of see exactly how much you would make in a similar position in your location. And of course, the salaries are confidential, so you wouldn't necessarily know how much your colleague would make unless you were a manager. So yeah, that was that. I got a salary increase of 20% because I threatened that I'm going to leave. And at that point, I started to learn how to negotiate my bonuses and my salaries every year. The standard one is not good enough when I have these kind of results. I always showed my manager my results. I always was your face in terms of my results, what I did. Started to be modest about my contribution, and I started to learn how to put myself in their face. Like, seriously, that's what I did. I was very good at it in terms of, putting myself on the map. I was doing a very good job. So I was like, no, 1%, no, you're giving people 3 times my salary as a bonus and I'm getting 1%. No, we're not doing that. We're not playing this game anymore. So that's how I started to negotiate. Every year I would negotiate. These are the average results. These are my results. Let's talk about money. So yeah, that doesn't mean that always I got 20% every year. Okay, so it's not that, because there are a lot of managers who think that, oh, if she asked me once, she's going to ask me every time. And what's wrong with that? As long as I give you everything you want and more, yes, I can ask for more. So that's what I did. So every year I would ask for a raise. I would negotiate my raise. Every year I always negotiated my raises. Every year. Maybe I didn't get 20% every year, but I always got more than the standard. And I have to tell you how they make decisions in terms of salary increases or bonuses. And this is, of course, is general, and there could be other ways of doing it, so don't think that this is the only way. But the way they made these kind of decisions is they look at the whole team, they put it on a line, and they say, They think about it. They make decisions with the gut. They say, oh, Delia, yeah, I think she was okay this year. Yeah, give her a 2% or whatever. But if I'm going to tell her again to my manager, I did great, I'm expecting a good salary increase because I did so much more than I was asked for, I know that she's going to come to me. So I'm going to give her something extra because I know how many benefits I get from working with such a person. So of course, there's another way of doing things. The idea of what I'm saying with this proposal that the managers do for salary increases is that they don't have the stats of all your results this year. You know the results that speak for you? Well, your results may not be there when they make salary decisions. So it's very important to be in the mind of your manager when that happens. To think of, oh, Delia, yeah, of course she deserves this. Well, we got so many benefits from her, you know. So it's really important to be in your manager's mind when they make such decisions. Performance review as well. You have to be there. That's when the decisions are made. If you want to try to change that decision, is harder than if you help to make it good the first time. So that's what I recommend. Negotiation is always harder after a decision is made. I'm not saying this is impossible, it's just harder. So when they make decisions, they don't look at each of your results, which is what you think that those results speak for you. You have to be in your manager's mind and you have to always show interest in a promotion. Your manager doesn't read your mind if you don't tell your manager that you want a promotion, salary increase, bonuses, and so on. So it's up to you to be seen, to be visible, especially in the period when they're making this decision, but in general. So this is really why I do what I do every day. This is why I teach people on how to make themselves seen at work. It's really important, it's crucial. Why would you work for the same money when you can have 10% more? If you want to know how to make more money with your job, with the same thing that you do, even less work, contact me. Get a 15 minutes call, it's free. We can talk about it and we can find your way of doing things. Link in caption.